being on stage requires a certain degree of agency. And so there's this sense that they're like, I'm in my shit right now. I am like in my power. And I am like, look at me stand up here and like just be naked and vulnerable and honest. And then to get feedback after that is challenging or really, quite frankly, negative or hurtful or just rude is really hard to process. And there's a lot of anger that bubbles up and a want to sort of like throw back, and get into a whole back and forth. And so I'll just say this, we went to a school in New England, and I won't say the name of the school. It's a boarding school in New England. And in the middle of Slut, we were doing both the plays. In the middle of Slut, in this big theater with 700 kids, the girls on the stage started getting catcalled. So in the middle of the show, as this girl is detailing the rape of this character, boys in the audience are shouting things out, and then they started clucking. So doing this sound all across the auditorium. And Amalia, who at the time was only 15 and is the lead actress in this play, is just staying focused and telling the truth and telling her story. And, we get off after, and the kids are obviously really upset and really emotional. And the instinct was to, go at it with the administration, and just, that was my instinct too. And just like lay into them, how rude is your student body? What is going on here? Make some big speech in the next performance and say, none of that's appropriate, and like all this stuff. And really what we sat down as a team, my assistant directors and also the casts, and tried to figure out what is most productive actually. Where did that come from and what's most productive? And what we figured out was that we would say something at the beginning of the next show, but it wouldn't be punitive and it wouldn't be pointing fingers. So this is emotionally charged content. And sometimes the reaction to emotionally charged content is not what we think. It isn't crying. It isn't, having to leave the theater because we've been triggered. It's laughing. It's acting in ways that we almost can't control because we're so uncomfortable. And if you are feeling like that's something you need to do, we're asking you to step out, And then we had a conversation with the administration and talked about ways they could talk to the classes that were in that particular audience about what happened that day. And it wasn't about, that was really messed up and you made us feel bad and that was really inappropriate. It was about, where did that come from? Why did you think that was the time and place to do that? And how do you think that impacted the person that was on stage? And what does that actually say about the very topic that the play is here to address? That's what we're trying to do with the kids too, is to think like, how do we actually make this an opportunity to think about how we engage people in conversations about issues, not just tell the story and then let them let that hang. Say like, we're going to sometimes get feedback that's uncomfortable, that makes us upset, that even in this case, I would say is abusive, but maybe that's a strong word, but you know what I'm saying. That requires us to take a deep breath and figure out what is the most effective way to engage, because wherever this is coming from is a part of the conversation too.
Right.